He is a very skilled architect, there's no question. Working with Omar is a true pleasure. I think what I really appreciate about him as a professional is that he's an extraordinary collaborator. He doesn't sit apart. Everything happens at the table, and everyone's input is valued.
Well, I first saw Omar's work, I think, when a couple of his projects were first published online, and they kind of came out of nowhere. Houses that really seemed fully resolved, architecture that was really elegant and thoughtful, and I assume that that's Omar's standard. This regional tradition of modern architecture in the Maritimes that builds on traditional building, that uses familiar forms, sheds, boathouses, the gabled roof house, and construction out of wood. All of these things that are familiar if you know the traditional buildings of the region, but takes those familiar elements and uses them to speak in a different language.
In terms of mentoring, I think one thing immediately that becomes apparent to me is the number of students from Dalhousie that Omar has brought into the studio. He has established that pretty much out of the gate that's the way that he wishes to operate, and that's a real priority.
I have a real appreciation and affection for Omar because of his continuing passion for architecture, and he shows that in so many ways, not only in the quality of his designs, but also in his involvement in teaching. I've known him as a colleague. I also have known him as a thesis supervisor and as an accomplished architect in Canada. So really in all these different ways, I think Omar exemplifies what's extraordinary about Dalhousie alumni, the willingness to give back, the ethos of service, and the ethos of accomplishment.